So my Western Star has been in the shop and we're going to pick it up just for like general like maintenance type of stuff, nothing big. Oil changes, fuel filters, oil filters, DEF filter, all that fun stuff. But I dropped it off at High Mountain Diesel and told Tim, I'm gonna be gone out of town on a business trip all week long. Take your time, have at it. And then that trip got canceled the very next day and I had to call him back and tell him, hey, I'm not actually gonna be gone all week and I could really use my truck. So if you could hurry up, that would be great. And he did, because he kicks ass and got it done. So we're heading to pick it up. The only other thing we had to do, motor mounts. That was like the one big repair thing, because it turns out when you go up onto the mountain pass and hook onto a 100,000-pound truck that's broke down on the pass and start up from a stop and pull it over the top at like 130,000 pounds, it's kind of hard on stuff like that. So he got it done. We're gonna pick it up and put it back to work. Okay, so we're back home now, and since it's early enough in the day, we're going to tow this thing back over to the valley here and get it back over to where it's going to stay over there until the owner can get back to that project. Okay, we made it to Sisters where we're having first lunch. It was funny is where I picked this thing up from is across the street right there. They're probably freaking out. Oh no, it's back. Crazy thing, it is freaking cold up here. It's actually where we were this morning too to get that truck. It is cold up here and like hot back at my house. So it's like sweater on, sweater off. Just keep going back and forth, but let's go get lunch. It's not anything in here doing it. Everything's good. What's weird is it's coming through the vents, which would tell me it's on this side of the engine compartment, not out there like it's in the cab. So what had happened was, to explain to you guys, we got stopped in construction back there and we stop and it's like, well, I hope that smell's not my truck burning. And then out of the vents in the dash, just smoke was coming out, like not a little bit, like it was smoking out the truck and it was like burning electrical. And then it just stopped and nothing quit working. Truck's still running fine, everything's good, no more smoke. But it was like, it was not a little bit, like there's a significant amount of smoke, and then it just stopped. It's not under the hood. I don't know. We're gonna keep driving and see what quits working later, or if the whole truck just like burns up. So we're up on top of Sandy Pass. Everything's like going fine now. Like, I don't get it. Why, even while we're just parked, nothing changed. We're just parked there, the smoke stopped. But it like a lot. Even the heater still works, and that's where all the smoke is coming from. So I don't know. But it is snowing outside. So you can see it's not sticking to the road, but the trees and some of the sides, it is sticking. Look at the one side of all the trees up there. It's stuck to where it's blowing in. So end of May, almost June, still getting snow on the mountain. Now, hopefully my truck does not burn down. I would really prefer it not do that, but I would really prefer it not do that on the other side of the mountain, hours away from home, like far away from my own tow trucks. So we're gonna cautiously continue. You ready to get rid of this thing?
Oh yeah.
Me too. We did our part. We got it over here. Let's get it on the ground. No, just not got our ass.
Yep.
Let's see how much it doesn't want to roll off.
Yeah. Oh. Good question.
Cleared no problem that time. Let's roll this out. Okay, dropped off and done. So now he's good friends and works with these guys a lot, so they went and gave him a ride back over the mountain, I guess yesterday he said, or 2 days ago, whatever. Anyway, he's home now. They're gonna store it until he's better enough to get on that project again and kind of rebuild what all got screwed up when it was sitting there and make it a running truck again. So we're 3.5 hours from home if we could just drive here, but we got stuck behind the line painting truck for 45 minutes at 7 miles an hour, so it took us a lot longer than that to get here. But either way, something good to do. Tow truck guys helping tow truck guys who's friends with other tow truck guys. A lot of tow truck stuff going on today. So the Western Star is back from the shop. It got service done, all greased up and oil changed and filters and DEF filter too and all that stuff. And then it also got new motor mounts up in the front end here and the new upgraded belt tensioner for these Detroit engines that it should have probably had a long time ago. But now we got to get this hooked back up to the Zacklift so that it can be tow truck again. So that's project number 1 for this morning. Oh, by the way, it's the next morning because we ended up doing a bunch of stuff yesterday afternoon. So now we're on this. People tell me how my truck's illegal and I'm going to get all these tickets and stuff because it doesn't have tail lights or mud flaps when you unhook from the Zacklift. Well, it has tail lights. The Zacklift goes between them, and it has mud flaps, but they just quite simply come off when you hook up to the Zacklift because it has its own. So everyone who's telling me I'm going to get a ticket and don't dare go to California because the truck doesn't have mud flaps when you unhook, you simply do this. It's very difficult, I know, but we do what we can. We're locked in. You see how those dogs up front went through that plate?
Yeah.
So this lines up the whole front end of it, holds it down when these pop through this plate right here. Everyone asks like, how do you line it up like that? Well, basically you just put the tires right down this line right here on each side and you're even. And then when you get close, you have this flange here, which helps guide it side to side if you're off a little. It's also ramped on the front. You see this is opened up like a big V and ramped down. So when this plate starts to hit here, it helps line it up. And then all this is tapered too. So you can be off 2 inches or so to each side and it's gonna line up and go in place. Same with up and down. But if you just like basically put the tires right down the fenders on each side, back up. There's probably rocks fly in your face. Or you could just wipe them off before you do that. But it's funner that way. I think this thing needs a bath. It's been a while. Yeah. Hint, hint, David.
Yeah.
This would be way easier if I'd have mounted these like out here somewhere. You could just do it from the side, but I wanted it all tucked away. I knew it was going to make it more of a pain to like hook up once this was on here, but it looks so much cleaner when it's all together. And Tim did like a really good job. Actually, Tim, whose shop this was just at High Mountain Diesel, he's the one who built that whole manifold and everything for me and did this whole super cool twin pump PPO setup. It looks like really clean the way it was all done. No different than any other trailer. Okay, now we can start it up and pull our legs up. On my particular truck, those chains go through the shock tower just because of where this happened to line up when we spaced it on here to get it as far forward as possible. But how those will go up will depend on the truck specifically, but since it's got to go up through the shock tower, the easiest way I found to get the chain up through there is just take your ratchet strap, drop down through there from the top, hook the chain to the end, pull it back up. If it was like, if my shock towers were anywhere else, or this was 3 inches farther forward or back, you just grab the chain and go like that, and you wouldn't have that at all. But farther forward the better. Cascade Heavy Rescue. Yes. So I just put that, put this in place, and then I come out here and pull the chain up. Oops. Just like that. Then we tighten that up. So watch this right here. This bolt is threaded down into the top of it. So when you tighten this bolt, we just clamped it down to the truck. So that back part, these back chains are not 100% necessary. They're not necessary at all for like towing, because it's those flanges sit on the frame, weights down here. It's locked in place, and it's locked in by the front pins, the fifth wheel, all that. To tow, you don't have to do that. When you're doing recovery and you pushing the outriggers down to like dig in, those keep the back end of this unit from lifting off the frame, which it won't do much because it's locked in 3 other places up there. But it helps hold the chassis of the truck up into the Zacklift, so when you push down, especially if you start taking weight off, you get all the way to the truck to drive down into the outriggers. Or if you're pulling off the side, it helps just tie everything together. But if all I was doing was towing, I wouldn't bother putting these on. Disclaimer, I don't know if that's actually recommended by Zacklift or not, but that's what I do. We are finished, ready to go tow trucking. It's pretty simple, right, David?
Yeah.
Think you just do it by yourself next time?
I could try.
Okay, we'll go for that. Okay, next order of business is I'm gonna go spread some rock in my driveway. My buddy Matt owns Tumao Transport, which is here in Bend, not Tumalo. But they'll go to Tumalo if you really want. And he's got dump trucks and low beds and all such things. So he brought me a few loads of gravel. I'm gonna go hop in the backhoe and get that spread on my driveway to hopefully do some dust control.